Just trying to make the best build in the game, and I know everybody hears best build in every YouTube video. Funny because I honestly get top players and so many greats test these things for me when I make a crazy build or find some discovery. And I did that the first week, and then I kept redefining that build until we mastered it to the point where it is one of the best builds you're going to be able to make overall, no matter what. But that build is specifically made for professional players who want to really be elite at their job and do everything well. And in the background, you're watching that build at play, and then another hybrid version that's pretty amazing. And so you're about to unlock yourself if you make this build. Now, I did have it on the channel and I've had it on my streams as far as the builder version and showcasing and explaining it, and then top players were testing it for the past 4 weeks themselves. I haven't tested it because I didn't make it. I was busy making other builds to play with. But my cousin, family member, Cloudy Chip TV, that you're watching in the background, get these blocks and things like that, he actually made that version of the build. And when he did, I said, hey man, since you made one, I'm going to make my own version. But for us to play 2's, I'm going to create a hybrid version of what that build is meant to be. So we set off to do this twin tower type of play where me and him go crazy together. And everything you're seeing in the background was the first day we made the build. Basically, I just made this build, so it's still fresh. Cloudy basically made the build and it's still fresh. We came out here getting blocks, steals, doing amazing in the 2's, winning and winning and winning and winning and winning. And honestly, we only lost like at the first game, just trying to get used to each other and used to the builds a little. And after that, it was mostly wins, and it was a very good time. But the reason I want to start off just by talking about it is because I made a video about fun builds versus competitive builds. Competitive builds are fun. They're actually more fun, in my opinion. Fun builds are also great to have, but if you can play with top players and you have a professional build, you're going to really enjoy the game because you're going to get more wins. And Cloudy Chip made that build for us to get more wins. Now I am going to probably get the highlights here for my dunks or ankle breakers or something silly, sure, but in the end of the day, Cloudy's build, even though it's a twin build for the most part, is the elite build, and he performed very well. A lot of blocks, a lot of steals, good rebounds. He basically carried the brunt of the weight. Okay, so we're going to start off with his build, and then I'm going to show you the version I made to be able to cross people up, break ankles, do all types of silly stuff for the fun side as a point guard version. Okay, now all these builds are 6'9", the exact same type of build mostly, with minor tweaks. Okay, so hope y'all enjoy this, and we'll come back to some highlights in a minute. Make sure we keep that going, but let's get into it. Here we go, diving deep. So first things first, in the end of the day, every build is a choice on what you want to make. We decided to go with the greatest build in the game because it gets things that no other build can. This is the only build that can get a 92 perimeter and an 89 interior with a 99 block and an 85 vertical. And what that does, it gives you pretty much almost every defensive badge in the game. With this setup right here, you get almost every defensive badge on Legend. Most of the badges, the important ones, whether it's On Ball Menace, Challenger, Paint Patrol, and High Flyer Denier, plus more. And so this is where this build stands out, and I did already have it on the channel, but this is me recapping it in a new way because I want to talk about something. So this is the build, right? You have to be 6'9", you have to have 186 weight and 7'3" wingspan. If you do anything less, you're not going to get this exact setup. Then after that, there's the 3, which you can hit shots very easily. The 65, you can drive and dunk pretty easily. And then the standing dunk 45, that's all you read. Passing at 65, it might seem low, but I promise you for 2s and 3s, it's no problem. And if you're playing 5s, you're not the point guard, you're most likely the power forward. Rebounds at 85, I promise you, when you play these modes, you're gonna have this high enough to box out centers and get a couple boards, do your job to help the center. And if you're playing 2s like you saw, we were winning easily against any center. Then of course, agility at 85 lets you stay in front of most people you're guarding. You have to just play smart. You're long, so you don't want to have to just play them tight. You can back off a little and just contest very well. Then the strength looks a little low and you're not going to get immovable and force on a high rate, but you can max +2 it if you really want to play on ball. But this badge is mostly, necessary for lockdowns and not even. You can get away with a lower rating. Most people will tell you got to max it, but it's not true. So this is the original build that is the best from top players. They'll be having this and they'll be using this. Everybody on their team most likely will rock out with that. But I want to kind of go through some more variation, the one that I made. So that can be a power forward, center, or small forward in the game pretty much efficiently. It's top tier. It could even be a shooting guard if you wanted it to a certain extent. Spot up, hit the shots. And I decided, since that can be our center for the 2s, I wanted to make a build that can play 1-on-1, 2-on-2, 3-on-3, 4-on-4, and 5-on-5, but also be the playmaker a bit, just a little bit. So when it comes to 5s, it won't be the playmaker, but for 3s, 2s, and 1s, it will. So I ended up putting together this version. This is my version. As you watch these highlights, just know, we cooked up. I probably won 100 games today, a bunch in the 1s court real quickly with this build and dominating the 1s. And then came out here with Cloudy, won 5. All right, real easy way to play with a 6'9". So I want to kind of pause the video and show you my version. So this has the exact same height, weight, wingspan, and overall stats. The only difference is that the steals and the rebounds were dropped. Instead of 85 rebound is 70. Get silver box out beast. That's more than enough to box out a center real quickly to get a rebound. I can do decent. And if I really wanted to play center, all I have to do is max +2 or 1 my actual box out beat to be able to get some rebounds against centers. So I won't get pushed around. Then the second thing that I dropped was the steals. Put it at a 73, which lets me buff this up to legend interceptor when I use a max +2. Now, if I'm not being the center and I am the small forward or power forward, all I have to do is use a max +2 to steals to get intercepted on Hall of Fame. Okay, it has everything else that the first build had in the way you saw it. It's top tier. It is literally the best in the game as far as statistically right now. The math behind this is crazy. There's other builds that are fun, great, and there's good ones. Whatever. Best doesn't matter. I don't believe in what's best, but I believe that this is one of the most greatest finds in the game as far as, wow, we found a way to do that. Yes, it's a small forward, but it's supposed to be a power forward on your team. That's because small forward allows us to have these attributes. Okay. Now the magic behind this build is in the dribbling and the dunking. Okay. I had to get this exact at an 88 to put one cap breaker and get it to 89 to get contact done. It's gonna go to a 93 when I use these next 4 cap breakers here. So on top of this, it's gonna be outrageous for dunks. Then the dribbles, as you can see, we got a 75, which is exactly what you need for the Zach LaVine dribble style. And then you have an 80, which you saw in my footage, going crazy with the dribbles. When ISO, I look up and have some. Right? It's going to still have the 99 block and the 89 interior to have Hall of Fame defensive badges everywhere. Again, this build is not done, and I didn't put the cap breakers on the defense yet, but you're gonna see a lot of defensive badges on Hall of Fame. I'm sorry, on Legend. That's where this build shines. You can see the interceptor on silver. I'm gonna max +2 it. I'll have that on Hall of Fame if I want. I gotta get my specializations for defense, for example, and I can put it on anything I want for defense, and then I'll just keep going. Naturally, you know, I'll have Challenger on Hall of Fame. I mean, I'm a Legend. High Flyer Denier on Legend. On-Ball Menace on Legend. You know, this build, look at Lightning Launch right now. If you see, I'm using it to be a great point guard. But I can switch the build, and this is what's cool about it. If I want it, I can switch the build into more of a power forward or center type of threes. I can switch all this to make it into that. Now I'm doing all playmaking style. That could be the difference. Specializations was finish that. But these are the two builds that you just saw in the highlights. And like I said, you know, we're not the top world greatest players in the game ever of all time. We are people who just casually play 2K. For the most part, I have a reputation of doing a lot of great things in my time, but I'm not necessarily out here trying to brag about none of that. You know, I play casually, really just, and I'm not a casual, but I'm not out here sweating on this game. Like, just have fun. So those are the kind of things you got to think about. Like, wow, they can perform well with this, and maybe I can do it too. So find what works for you, have fun with it. The best build is the one that Cloudy Chip has. I made this just to play with him to create this video of two twins. And honestly, I would have had a better outfit for both of us, but we both wanted the 2x rep for wearing some certain gear for the trendsetter setup. Right. But yeah, this is the rundown on this. And like I said, I want to kind of take a note the rest of this video, talk about Cloudy and his performance and my performance, kind of our gameplay. Okay? First of all, we don't play enough to be like elite on the 2s. We basically play casually once in a while, and not even all year. We've played 3s for the most part, and so we had to build our synergy during the game. It started off pretty rough, and then we started picking up the pace and working with each other. As you can see, just really good basketball. Good defense, good offense, pretty much well-rounded. On the Cloudy Chip's performance, he was playing the center for the most part, but I honestly was center as well for a lot of the game, so it was totally fine because I was boxing people out and getting the rebounds, so we didn't have to really care. We only switched probably 3 times where I'm like, hey, guard this center. He's got a 90 whatever strength. Came and switched. But other than that, once we got the flow, you know, what I was telling him was, let's switch everything. We're both the same build. We can guard both players. He has more agility, so he'll be way better to stay in front of people. But other than that, you know, we're doing our job. As far as defensively, we were switching and started to get the feel of switching no matter what, which was fun. That's the kind of thing you got to know. This is the main thing that I can point out is switchability in video games. Basketball is very important. So it's like there's no problem if I guard the center or the point guard. We'll just shut them down. Normally people take advantage of one or the other. You can't take advantage of this build to that extent defensively. You know, we can handle things. That's what's special about this playstyle. We're gonna have it all year long, and I'll do another update as we get cap breakers, and we're both working on cap breakers right now. I have 6 coming in the next 2 weeks, 6 new cap breakers on top of possible extra ones, you know, from the next season pass, from the next lifetime challenge, and like other things that I could probably get. I got 6 of them coming for sure very soon because my crew and the rep rewards are waiting for 3 each. So my build is gonna be ready, like fully maxed. 10+ cap breakers locked in. So once we get all that, builds will be even crazier. My build is a dribbler you watch my video, you're going to be like, wow, this thing is crazy. I was on one-on-ones, just kind of saucing people, doing all types of madness. And guess what? That's going to pop up on screen right now. Go check that out. I appreciate y'all time, y'all energy. Like, subscribe, and comment, and show love and support, man. I'll see y'all on the next one. Stay safe.